What's going on, boys? Today we have a video of women telling the truth about being single. Women telling the truth? All right, let's give that a shot.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
Hi, my name is Essence.
Hi, my name is Julie.
And I'm single.
And I am single.
And I am single.
AF. Oh, I definitely can feel lonely, but I don't know necessarily if that's because I'm single.
I do feel lonely sometimes.
might be.
I don't feel any lonelier than I think any human would feel, whether they're in a relationship or not.
What was that answer? What was that answer? You're not in court. Just give us a straight answer.
Societally, like there is a lot of pressure sometimes to be either dating or in a relationship or like having a bunch of hookup buddies.
But I feel like sometimes not.
Yeah, that third one's probably true. I don't think there's any pressure in society on women to stay in a relationship. I just don't see that, guys. Do you?
Having a partner doesn't mean that you're lonely. It just means that you're on your own, you're independent.
I definitely don't.
See, just because I'm alone, it doesn't mean I'm sad. Like, it doesn't say anything bad about me. You know how they say that stuff? Like, hopefully you can see through this stuff now, right? Like, they're just trying to make themselves feel better. They feel attacked by that question, actually, because they don't ask themselves that question, you know?
I don't think being single is like this lonely, dreadful experience.
I'm a stand-up and I'm an actor and I
Because you see, if she's geez, here we go. Let's back it up and hear what she said again one more time.
I'm a stand-up and I'm a
I think being single is like this lonely, dreadful experience.
Because if you did, then you would have to feel those dreadful thoughts, right? That's why they don't want to even bring it into reality. They don't want to manifest it, right? So if they don't admit it's true, then it's just not true.
I'm a stand-up and I'm an actor and I feel like a lot of my days are
Jeez.
just spent on my own independently. You know,
Yeah, she's an actor. She's pursuing this career being a funny woman and being this loud, charismatic person. Guys, don't date these girls. I mean, they seem like a lot of fun, trust me, and I have been around them, but they're just gonna hop on. They're gonna cheat on you quicker than a normal girl would, because she's putting her out there, right? She's look at me, look how funny I am. Like, aren't I sweet and funny and I'm the life of the party and I'm a social butterfly. Don't date butterflies. Don't date these butterflies.
I think it depends on the day.
Depends on the day, huh?
Working, hobbies are the, I guess, obvious answers, but
Working and hobbies. This is a perfect picture because the real answer, guys, is the way women cope with their loneliness is drinking. They go to the bar, they take selfies of themselves, looking all done up in their makeup and their scantily clad clothing, only to be there to validate themselves. They're probably not going to treat anyone with respect. They're just there to collect compliments and leave and, pat themselves on the back. Like, they don't care about men. Like, women just don't care anymore. I don't get it. They don't have to, right? They'll say, I don't need no man. It's so true. They don't need us, guys. They don't. They got the government. They'll kick you out of the house, take all your money, and then they'll collect child support from you and then money from the government for being a single mother. They have no reason to have us around except for the validation, which is why they're still, that's why that's the only thing you get, because that's all they want.
to me, I think it's more being really kind of like secure within yourself.
I think it's possible to feel really like lonely when you are in a relationship if you're in a relationship with the wrong person.
Having a lot of friends around me, making sure that I have activities that I'm passionate about, and not really worrying too much about finding the one, being
You gotta
in a
be
relationship.
worried. Ladies, if any lady ever hears my voice, treat your time on this planet like it's your only time on this planet. Don't believe in reincarnation. There's nothing to back that up that you're gonna get a second chance at this. You get one ride to the show. This is it. Enjoy it while it lasts. And the fact remains throughout history that women are at their most attractiveness to men at around the age of 20, which all these girls, if I had to guess, are past that. And what happens? As your value drops, the quality of guy that you're going to be able to get also is going to drop. You have to respect that. And if you don't, you're going to end up surrounded like cats, and you're going to be another one of these old Karens shouting at people, at strangers in the parking lot. You know, you don't want to be like that. I certainly don't want to be around with anyone who's like that. I don't know about you guys. I mean, even family members who get to this stage, I will call them out to their face, because I don't want to see my friends or loved ones end up in this tragic way of living. I'll call them out every time. So get away, run, just
Like,
run from this
genuinely
kind of crap.
Enjoy like being by myself, dating when I want to date, like.
That's all about her. What I want. Yeah. All right, few red flags with this girl. The big hoop earrings, guys. These are a big red flag. Big red flag. The this biker jacket. Show me your Harley. Where's your Harley at? Really? Like, yeah, that's a red flag, because they think they're like badasses and they think they're tough. Like, I know that sounds hyperbolic, and I'm trying to use shock value, but it's true. Like, they put this jacket on and they walk around like they're Chad. Like, these women are so disconnected from reality.
Like casually.
So I think I'm very optimistic about my life in general, and I feel like I'm very driven. I feel like I have a lot of trust in this last year that like my career will go where it needs to go, and that my relationships will unfold kind of how they are supposed to.
She's just hoping. Look, she doesn't even know herself. Like, maybe? I'm confident in my life path is going in the way that I want it to go. That doesn't sound confident. Do you think
Being single for me is
they'll say
definitely
yes?
better
Of course
at this
they will.
stage in my
They're all
life
gonna
because
say yes,
I'm
guys.
not really ready to settle down.
I spent a lot.
See, they're not going to be ready to settle down because they have the power right now. They can hop from one guy to the next, and they want to weigh their options, right? Like, you sort of can't blame them for it, but then you can when they come back to you at 35, 40 with no womb to speak of, no ability to create offspring for you, no cooking skills, no housekeeping skills, no child raising skills. And what else? They've been toughened by this man's world, careers being a man's world, so they have to grow into being a man, being dominant and argumentative, because that's how you're gonna get your way in business. And then once you become that and you're 35 and this tough badass woman, what guy is gonna want to come home to that? Well, the answer is a beta simp male. And that's the only guys these girls can get once they hit 35, 40 and up, because those are the only people who will take them. It's really unfortunate, but not really.
A lot of my time kind of focusing on my career, focusing on being independent, and I kind of thought that wanting a relationship meant that I was weak.
Focusing on my career and all that BS is literally what every girl... I'm 32, and throughout my 20s, this is what every single last girl would say. And they're not going to say anything otherwise, because another woman will look at them and say, excuse me? Like, you don't think you're independent? You don't think you're strong? This is that self-policing inside the feminine mind.
Realized recently that it's not a bad thing to want a relationship. Doesn't make you any less of a woman, and doesn't make you this kind of damsel in distress stereotype.
It's funny, I think in the last year it was very important that I was single. It was really important for me to be independent in this last year and find my own.
It was just really important that last year she could have a different dong every other day. Because for girls, you open your Tinder and there they are, just waiting. Because as men, we don't choose, do we? We don't get to choose anymore. It's just gone. You can't explain anything. You can't have an opinion on things. Like, you don't have a vajayjay, so you don't get to talk about a BB, a borscht notes. Of course you do. Of course we do. Ridiculous. I
voice and really just establish a routine for myself.
This is the public schools.
I'm just not ready for that, because there comes like a lot of structure with that. There comes a lot of like compromise.
This girl's nails, I hate these nails. I don't want to get hurt. Like, I like scratches on the back, but I don't like gouges past my epidermis where I'm bleeding profusely. Might have to go to the hospital.
Sacrifice, and I'm just
those
at a
nails
point
are
in my life where
ridiculous. See, They were like 3-4 years ago, all girls had those nails.
really ready for
all
that.
girls, every single girl you saw outside that was mildly attractive, like a 6 or 7 up or whatever, had those. And even girls who thought they were like 7/8 or whatever, they had those. That was just the thing. Still, a few of them are still hanging on to them. But I think most guys see those as like chicken
Definitely
talons.
a struggle
Like, get
to
those
find
out of
someone
here.
compatible and to find someone who can really be there for you.
I actually feel like I'm transitioning now into a place where everything is a little more stable, a little more figured out, and I actually feel like now is the time that someone could fit in. So
Right.
I'm hopeful.
Oh, that don't you guys want to fit into her life? Man, that sounds like a dream come true. Do you have any space for me? Little old me? No. Women, you get to fit into our lives or not at all. We don't fit into your life. We're not going to sit around where you talk about dream catchers and blue stones and manifestations of your reality, because none of that works. Men have to deal in reality. So no. You got that way off. That's your problem. You're trying to find someone to squeeze in to all your little check boxes. They don't exist. And if they did, you'd have to be way more attractive. I'm sorry.
I think we're
Supermodels
actually in a kind
aren't
of
going to be able
amazing
to
time
find
right
this
now
kind of
where
guy.
people are a lot more vocal about like, you're not, having a relationship status be the only thing you're aiming for in your life. For me, it's been really helpful on social media to see.
No. Social media has not been helpful to your life.
Kind of more positive, more open-minded outlooks.
Social media is terrible for me when it comes to loneliness. It's
Wow, that's
really
sort of right.
difficult to try and not focus.
She derives displeasure and loneliness from that app, and yet she still is on it. That's how obsessed women are with this shit.
On what other people's perfect moments are.
Delete it.
Because they're not
Just
putting all
delete
their
it,
bad
go somewhere
moments
else.
on social media.
I don't necessarily know that it's affected how I feel about singleness positively or negatively. I think I just kind of look at those things as just
Ask this girl in 10 years that same question. I guarantee you she will have thought it out much more. I'm not really thinking about it right now because I have the same options that I've had around. She thinks that she's still going to get that guy that she slept with in her early 20s. She got with this guy. He didn't stick around because he's a Chad. And she's like, well, I can just get that whenever. So I'm going to go work on my business and come back. Nah. Because Chad had fun time with you when you're young, tight, sexy, saucy, earlier stage at you, right? But you're gonna come back with this old beat up Chevy, like, and you want to run the race. You don't even qualify. You're not even making the qualifiers, honey. And these women still think they're hot. They don't think they've diminished at all.
just entertainment.
Growing up on like Disney movies and
Girls, okay, this is a crazy idea, right? When you own a dog and you see it every day, you don't notice its growth. Like, you get it as a puppy and you see it every day, multiple times a day, because you're taking care of it. But when you bring it over to your buddy's house, this happened to me, my friend brought his dog over, and I was like, holy crap, he's grown so much. Like, this dog doubled in size, his coat got better because he combed him, and he was feeding him better. And he's like, really? Like, he was confused because he didn't notice. You don't notice. So imagine that, right? And as much time as women take out of their day to look at themselves, like, I don't know, 20 times, a couple dozen times, 50 times, I don't know, a lot, I'm sure, with Instagram, Snapchat, they desensitize themselves to their own aging process. They've taken, if they looked at them at 20 and then 21 and then 22 and then 23 and then 24 and so on, they'd notice a much larger difference than the 7 pics they took Monday, the 7 pics they took Tuesday. You know, they've kind of did it to themselves. You know, does that make sense? Makes sense to me. I don't know.
rom-com and all those things make you think that,
I'm sure
like,
there's some
that
scientific
is
term. It's like
the be-all,
gradual
end-all to your life.
And just in
noticing
terms
of
of
things.
like connecting on a human level, social media kind of makes it hard because you're at a distance from everything, and interacting with someone one-on-one is so much different from interacting online.
I work in media.
Guys, don't date women from online. Just use the online thing as hookups. You're not going to find a woman who's going to be your wife and you're certainly not going to find a woman who's going to be your wife and stick around. That's just not going to happen. I hate to tell you, whoever's listening, but you are not the top 0.01%. And you have to be that. And then once she marries you, you have to remain that. And even then, Briefolt's law comes in to say that the female species in animals are just going to leave once they get all the beneficiaries out of you. And that's kind of the explanation of why marriage always ends, because women just, I already got everything. I can take the kids and the money whenever I want. I'm out of here.
So I also know that, like, I don't want to say very few things are real, but things are like, there's a story being told.
Get those nails
So
out of my
whether
face.
it's
I feel like I should wear
on TV,
eye
you often
protection
only see
with
the
this girl around.
highlights, and I know that relationships take a lot of work. So I think I look at them only for entertainment.
I think we're in
Yep.
kind of in a new.
Remember that. She's on here looking for
Take
entertainment.
a lot of work. So I think I look at them only for entertainment.
Like, girls will chat with 50, 100, more than that guys at a time, and just have them on a list on their Snapchat feed, and just have all their boxes as on red or on unopened, right? Just to build up their self-esteem, guys. And for most of us, that won't work because we can't fool ourselves like that, but women can. We'll never understand how that works, but understand that it does happen.
I think we're in kind of in a new.
If you aren't aware of this,
era
you are
when it
falling
comes
into
to that,
pitfalls.
which I'm all about. It's more portrayed in the media like women, like the female-driven anxiety that is being single. I feel like men probably are concerned about it. It's just not really portrayed.
I think that
Don't you
women
love how they'll say, it's just the media for just the things that is going against their ideology? Like, how about all that anti-Trump stuff? I wonder how she feels about that. Oh, no. At that point, the media is gospel. Take that as solid word of God.
are very conditioned, like even very young, to think that they have to be with someone, that they have to get married, especially by a certain age, that they're not complete and they're not whole. And
No. That is a lie. That is an absolute lie. Where are you getting that from? That is an absolute no, guys. She just said what I think she said. She said women are raised to believe in relationships and to stick around. Is that what she?
That they have to get married, especially by a certain age.
Is that what women are being taught, guys? Am I missing something? Because no woman is acting like this. I don't see women trying to get married early and stick around, and never do you see a woman standing up for their men, right, or supporting them in any way. What is she talking about? She's probably around my age, maybe a bit younger, who knows, maybe older. What are you talking about? In what country, on what planet are women being taught to stick around with men and to marry? They're not. That is absolute lie. That is an absolute lie, guys.
Age that they're not complete and they're not whole, and I definitely think it plays a part into how they start to interpret their own lives and how they interpret being single.
Because we're expected to find someone young and make sure that we're kind of hitting all these milestones.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Where have I've not heard this? Because when I say this to people, they say you're a misogynist. They call me a bigot. Having traditional values has gone. What are these women talking about?
That's not necessarily.
That's a lie. These girls were not raised to believe red pill. They're all blue pill. Everyone's blue pill until they're red pill. That's it.
What we need to do to feel fulfilled.
And I think for a lot of women, it can definitely impact them negatively.
That's not society. What this girl's talking about is not society.
Kind of hitting all these milestones.
Who's telling her to hit her milestones and get married early? That's probably the smart people who are in her life, like probably her father or her mother, and this was advice that she rejected, and now she's claiming that was society. Society does not tell people this. Society was for the nuclear family back in the 1950s. That stuff died in like the 60s and 70s. And if you just go look at marriage statistics, you'll see the downward trend since the 60s. Marriage rates have dropped off a cliff. And women are the ones initiating 80% of the time. So, and then when you bring up that statistic, what do they say? Oh, men are beating their wives. That's why they're leaving. So then they'll never take responsibility, accountability, never. It goes back onto us as being toxic masculine men who beat their wives 80% of marriages. That's what they're asking us to believe. That's why we're not marrying you. You're lying.
Even though that's not necessarily what we need to do to feel fulfilled.
And I think for a lot of women,
Yes, it is. It's absolutely what you need to do for fulfilled.
What we need to do to feel fulfilled.
What do you need to do? Date around to your mid-30s and 40s and try and squeeze out a baby, hoping to God it has the right amount of chromosomes? Men know your fertility stages, right? Why do you think men aren't attracted to 60-year-old women, 50-year-old women, 7-year-old women? It's not because we're pervy and we love tight skin, although that is slightly true. It's because they are not able to bear us children at that age. There's no reason for a man to be attracted to an 8-year-old woman. But there is an attraction between 20 to 30-year-old women all the time and elderly men, 40, 50, and 60. You'll see it all the time. And it's because those men still provide what? Their half of the bargain. You give us a kid, we'll provide you with resources. That's been the way it's been for millennia until the 1960s when the government stepped in and said, I'll be your daddy, I'll be dad, and women said, oh, thank God. And so, and guys, we're still paying taxes that go to the government that pay women's welfare. So they're still being paid for by men, just indirectly.
And I think for a lot of women, it can definitely impact them negatively because they start to feel like incomplete or like they haven't achieved
Good,
a certain
it
thing if
should.
they're not in a relationship by a certain age.
Just like a man should feel shame if he's homeless by the time he's 30 or 40, he should feel ashamed. And if you ask most homeless men, they will agree. They will say, I should feel ashamed, because saying otherwise is denying reality. And when you deny reality long enough, which feminists and these Marxists have done for 4, 5, 6 years now, it develops into a psychosis. It was called Trump derangement syndrome for the 4 years he was in office, but it continues now. Trump's out of office and they're still losing their shit. They're still bonkers. These people are still cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And you ask them, what's your problem? They say, you racist. They say, you bigot, you have too much money. You need to pay me more. No, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do shit for you. You have to earn my respect and you have to earn my money.
Age.
Being single, like, can be rough AF at times, like, let's be honest.
Find other ways.
Can be rough AF.
Let me
at
just read
times,
this
like, let's
one more time. What would your advice be to someone who feels the same way? The last 5 minutes of this video is all advice that they would be giving to themselves. It's all self-appreciation, back patting, masturbatorial conversation. That's what this is.
Being single, like, can be rough AF at times, like, let's be honest.
Find other ways to be fulfilled. Don't always focus on a partner because you don't need anyone.
Another person doesn't make you not lonely.
People need other people. I heard YouTube say you can't build a house by yourself, right? You can't build a community by yourself. You can't raise a child by yourself. It takes a community.
It's just like a Band-Aid.
I don't ever want to feel like I need a man to feel secure or to feel worthy, trusting that, like, it will work out when it's supposed to.
Someone should compliment you but not complete you. Work on that and then maybe explore relationships.
You have people that love you.
It feels like they're taking men's advice that men give other men and then are just taking it and saying it for themselves. Specifically this.
Not complete you. Work on that and then someone should compliment you but not complete you.
A woman should compliment you, not complete you. If you want a relationship, dating, a marriage, whatever, if you want it to work out, and this is for men and women, I don't know the man and female dynamics, but for a man and a woman, For that relationship to work out, the man has to be perceived as higher on the value totem pole. The woman has to look up to him. She has to respect him. His word must be law. Anything short of that will not work.
Work on that and then maybe explore relationships.
You have people that love you, you have friends, you have family. Make sure that you're surrounding yourself with positivity.
I just noticed she has these big hoop earrings too. That's a bummer. This girl's like 5'11". I'm being nice. She's probably like 6'3" or something. And she's going to have a really hard time, especially with her height, right? Like man, like 30 years ago, the average girl, the average woman wouldn't have such an inflated ego where they think they all deserve a 10 out of 10 guy. Not all people deserve the best of the best. That's just the way the world works. It's called the Pareto distribution. These people wish of a world where there are no people in poverty, which will never, ever, 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 ever exist, because you can't make people choose different lifestyles if they don't want to.
Introspection and like self-care moments are important.
Single life is lit.
Women don't do any introspection. Where's the introspection? You're going on 30 and you're over here saying it's okay that you're single, and you'll just keep waiting while you get older and older, and your eggs keep falling out, dying off over worse eggs every month, worse eggs every month, worse eggs, gone, dead eggs. No, I've got all the time in the world. What's the rush?
So
right.
Go out there,
What's the
date
rush?
casually, get you some drinks and some dinners, and live it up.
Having
Yeah, live
a
it up.
partner-
Just chill, live it up. That'd be advice I'd give to a man who's retired with money. Live it up, relax. That's the only time you get to relax.
Doesn't mean that you're not lonely, and being lonely doesn't mean that you need a partner. So just focus on yourself and
I think that's the actual definition of being lonely, guys. I think the cure to being alone is to be around someone else. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I swear that's exactly what alone means. One is the loneliest number, right? I don't know. Maybe these girls have a different Webster's dictionary at their house than I do.
be who you are.
We got this.
You're not alone if you have 8 cats. Those are your children. Of course. Of course. What was that?
Mean that you need a partner.
Let's hear that
so
closing
just focus
remark.
on yourself and be who you are.
We got this.
Do you? Get that, guys. Does it seem like she's confident in her getting this?
Not lonely.
Let's get that.
and
Let's
being
get that
lonely
clip.
Doesn't mean that you need a partner. So just focus on yourself and be who you are.
We got this.
Wow. Yeah, you guys got it. What that is, I don't know, and I don't want anything to do with it. It sounds terrible. You don't got it. She's trying to be like, she's like this, she's this inspired actress who's like aging rapidly. I got all the time in the world, guy. I think I'm going to leave this one here, because it's the end of the video and all, so why not? Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like my content. I'm going to be trying to roast these crazy people as much as I can.